Okay, let's take a look at session duplication. To find it, you go to Auto Register, and then down here at the bottom, there it is, Session Duplication. This module can duplicate your accounts and can also close current sessions. This module is useful for situations like, for example, if you recently bought some accounts from some shady sellers and you suspect that they might want to resell access to these same accounts to other buyers. Or if you just want to duplicate your sessions. Anyway, the first thing we need to do is to isolate an account. Here we have an account ready. First, we choose action and then close third-party sessions. So that way, if you have some concurrent sessions running, we can just shut them down right now. Once that is done, we can then go down to Auto Register and then all the way down to the parameter generator, because we'll actually need to set the parameters that will sort of set the path for our accounts to follow. If you're not sure about how to generate these parameters, the best place to go would be our forums on blb.team. There's lots of great articles there that explain all the different aspects of setting these parameters. You can also get access to the app ID and hash pairs that you'll need to set the proxies. There's multiple pairs you can use there. Pick and choose how you like. And for everything else, there's always Google. Though I should note that in order for any of this to work, every single parameter has to be set in the correct format. So make sure to double check your work before you click start. Okay, going back to session duplication, we see that the first option you have is to use settings from accounts. I don't recommend using this option because oftentimes when you buy new accounts and you look into the JSON file, that's the file type you'll be using, .json, you'll find that the parameters are set not quite correctly. Instead, we'll be having the module use our own database that we would have already generated by now. Next, we need to set the folder to save new accounts. This is the folder where the new accounts will be saved, obviously. For now, we're going to use the same folder for temp spam block. That's this tab right here, the temp spam block tab. Next, we pick the account that we'll be duplicating. Then we choose if we want to close the original session. This would mean that since we've already closed all the concurrent sessions, the one that we duplicate will be the last one remaining because we'll be deleting the original one. And then we do the same for the original JSON file, so that way at the end, only our new copy of the session and the JSON file will remain. You can see this module also supports thread management if you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of accounts. Anyway, let's click start. And I'll remind you once again that at the beginning, you're going to need to do some testing, some experimenting to make sure that you get the exact right parameters that you need. So stuff like if you got the right pairs, if your parameters are set correctly, if the parameters are even current. You know, these are all things that you want to check ahead of time before you run through like 100 accounts with the, possibly wrong parameters, right? So it's good to double check things and maybe for the first couple of tests, just run it on 1 or 2 accounts, just so that when the time comes to do the real duplication, you know you're ready and it's all going to go well. Because if you have that combination of well-put parameters and a nice high-quality proxy, then duplication should be effortless. If you look at the activity log, you see that all the steps have been taken correctly. It's entered the code, logged in using two-factor authentication, then created a copy of the JSON file, closed the original session, and now we have a new duplicate. And if we look at the Active Accounts tab, we'll find that our account is not there because we copied it and then we moved the new copy into the temp spam block folder. So here it is. If we go ahead and check it for bans right now, we can see that everything's fine. You see, nothing happened. It's a nice live active account, and so we've made a successful duplication. And so here at the end, I would like to stress once again how important it is to make sure to set your parameters correctly. If during duplication you get certain problems that occur, like for example, the code hasn't been sent, or maybe the log itself will just tell you that some of the parameters are not set correctly, then you're going to have to go back and fix it. So if you want to save yourself some time, just make sure to get it right the first time, double check. Do your homework, and everything should be fine. Make sure that all your parameters are set in the correct format and that your proxy pairs are actually current. Once again, all the information that you need is available on our forums on blb.team, which you can then translate into whatever language you want using your web browser. And then, kicking off from there, whatever else you need, you can always Google it. So after a few tests to make sure that it's all right, I'm sure you'll be duplicating accounts like a pro.